Golf. The year was 1920 in the then Christianburg, Accra. The first golf club hit the ground in Ghana, then Gold Coast. What had started as leisure for colonial administrators was about to develop into major parts of the country as a sport to be loved and enjoyed by many. Over the years, the game developed immensely, leading to the springing up of so many golf courses in the country. The Kumasi Golf Club, now Royal Golf Club, boasts of having hosted the first ever Golf Open in Ghana. This was in the year 1932. Ever since then, the game has grown popular, leading to Tema entering the fray in 1979 and again in the 2009 tournament. It is earlier in that century that our story begins. The Danny List story.
Hi everyone, I'm Danny List. I'm a Ghanaian professional golfer playing on the USPGA.
Growing up in Accra, golf was by no means a natural sport for a young child. However, the story of Danny List and golf is one of love at first sight. From the age of 2, the two have been inseparable.
I played golf for the first time at 2 years old and have been playing ever since, now playing professionally for 3.5 years. For the life of me, I can't even remember why I started playing golf, but ever since the first time I picked up a club, I've been hooked.
In a football-dominated country, where chances of developing a passion for golf were extremely slim, Danny broke all odds by developing a fierce passion for golf at a tender age of 9. This was even despite the game being widely perceived as reserved for the old and wealthy. Nothing was going to stop Danny from following his passion for golf.
My junior career started in Ghana, and then I made my way over to England when I was about 12 years old before accepting a scholarship to play at the University of Washington in the US. And then from there I turned professional. To this day, I've competed on the DP World Tour, European Tour, and Korn Ferry Tour.
We start training Daniel. It's a young time. It's a very difficult because every children when you start playing golf, it will be difficult to train him. Yeah. Sometimes when you say you should do this, maybe he's not going to do it. You do it different way, but you must correct him at the same time. So golf in the children is very difficult to train him. But when the children is very serious to play golf, few time and they have the golf idea to pick up. He used to keep up, pick up fastly.
Beyond the love story between Danny and golf, choosing the game over the popular football came with its challenges, both as a young child with just a passion and even as a professional.
My childhood journey through golf was definitely, I couldn't say it definitely wasn't a straight road. There were a lot of ups and downs, and times where the game could be a bit lonely. You know, times where you get down on yourself and you get frustrated because you're not getting the results, and maybe this kid is playing better than you. But it's also quite freeing, knowing that you're in complete control over your own destiny, and you train, you just keep working, you don't rely on anyone else. It's you out there going to battle against these other competitors, and it created a great sense of independence and control over my own life that I really appreciated.
Like every professional sportsman, there are challenges to be faced, and golf had no different story. But when driven with passion, difficulties become challenges to attain higher heights.
As an adult, and the journey becomes, it's hard to say if it's more difficult, it's just different. You know, you go from each stage in your career, the game just gradually gets harder and harder. You know, you might have become one of the best college players, and then you turn professional, it's a whole new ball game. Every stage you face a new challenge, and I think they really test your perseverance and your discipline, that you're willing to move into that next chapter, and you might be, you might have gone from first to 50th, but you want to go back, and you go back to the work, and you try to get to that number one spot again. So it really tests your grit.
With time and perseverance, what was just a passion became a career and set Danny on a path to greatness. From a little boy in Ghana with a love for golf to an international golfer with several titles and trophies, both from Ghana and international tournaments.
Golf's impacted me in so many ways. Not only has it given me a career path, but I've developed many friendships from the game. Not to mention the invaluable lessons it teaches, including dedication, respect, integrity, and patience.
In retrospect, it is no surprise that Danny is today an international golf champion, as the title started right from his young golfing age in Ghana, where he mostly played against adults.
This picture was in a U.S. kids tournament. It was in Georgia in the U.S. This was actually I consider this to be a very big turning point in my junior career. As you can probably see there, I was quite a bit smaller in stature than other kids my age. So I had to sort of learn how to adapt. I think this was 2015, so I would have been maybe 16 years old. I would have been coming back home on a holiday from school to play in this, and I think I shot 1 under par around Achinoto. I think that was my score, and I managed to win. It was my first time seeing the course after it was redesigned, so it was really cool coming back and seeing a lot of familiar faces. And I was in pretty dire need of a haircut, I can see as well. But so I wish I had known I was gonna win and have TV cameras there, because I might have stopped at the barber shop on the way. This was my first win, because I look so excited to be getting that trophy there. And it's funny looking at. I recognize a lot of the faces here, and it's funny just seeing the height difference. I was so much smaller than everyone else that was playing, and this is a good memory. This was from the one of the tournaments that MTN threw. I want to say I was 8 years old in this, and I think this was the early stage of sort of starting to win the adults tournaments. I used to kind of get excited by the idea of beating grown men. It was I enjoyed it way more than beating my peers. I'm not gonna lie.
Golf may have taken Danny beyond the borders of Ghana, but home will always be home. Ghana is home. On most of his several trips back home, he mostly recalls his golfing days as a kid who had just developed an interest in golf from watching the great Tiger Woods. In his words, it was extremely difficult to find the motivation to practice because none of his friends had developed the interest, owing to the stigma that golf was for the old and rich. They would much rather use his golf balls to play football. This stigma is today the very reason for the Danny List Foundation.
What I always considered to be the biggest challenge for me when it came to training in Ghana as a kid, learning the game here, was when it came to competing internationally, say in the European Junior Championships, the Junior World Championships. I was so far behind the other kids, you know, because the preparation, you know, the quality of training that was available to me here just wasn't adequate. We didn't have a driving range at the time, you know. We do now, which is a step forward, but it just meant that there were many gaps in my game that other kids overseas were able to train properly, receive the right coaching, and it's, you know, when I was in Ghana, I still put together, you know, decent results, so I was still invited to play in the European Juniors.
At the Danny List Foundation, we seek to bring opportunities to young boys and girls in Ghana to find their footing in the game of golf by nurturing and guiding them in a way that will not only improve their golfing abilities, but also teach them invaluable life lessons that come with the game, such as respect, discipline, honesty, and integrity. Our goal is to bring the first generation of talented Ghanaian golfers to the forefront of the golf world and to establish a base for a long line of world-class Ghanaian golfers to be bred. This is where our first mission comes into play, which is to build a state-of-the-art training facility near Accra that can keep up with the standards set by golfing federations in most countries around the world. This facility will include a driving range that offers a variety of targets that would allow golfers to hone in on their precision with a golf club, as well as high-quality golf balls to give accurate feedback to the player. A few things that have not been seen in Ghana to this day. To help this facility become self-sustaining, it would also offer golfers that wish to train there a monthly membership fee for the facilities, as well as a daily fee for non-members. From this point, we hope to grow into a multi-purpose academy that supports athletes from a multitude of sports, in the hope that Ghana can be competitive in a wide variety of fields.
I'm so passionate about my foundation. It was a long time coming, and I couldn't be more thrilled that we finally got it started. And my plans are just to give equal opportunity, give Ghanaian kids, you know, the shot that every American kid gets, every kid in the UK gets. I just, you know, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. I want to demonstrate to the world that there's untapped potential in all nooks and crannies, every corner of the earth. There's a child with dreams that has the potential to make it, and that just needs the right, you know, conditions to do so. But and to do that, I want to bring an academy to Ghana that will serve children and give them the right facilities, the right, just down to everything, the golf balls, the clubs, you know, the targets on the driving range, you know, the putting green. I want it, you know, the right coaches. It shouldn't be, you know, a case that Ghanaian kids that, you know, I see them out here all the time. They're out here for hours. You know, what's the point in being out for hours doing, you know, something aimlessly when we could be putting their energy in the right direction, and that so that there is an end goal, which could be playing on the PGA Tour. And 10 years from now, you know, I want this to serve as a multi-purpose academy that kind of caters to lesser known sports or lesser served sports, especially in Ghana, because it shouldn't be that all kids do is think they have to be a professional footballer. There's a lot of things you can do, and there's a lot of things that might be your calling that you haven't had a chance to give it a good go.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited and most grateful to you for deciding to join Danny List on this great quest for change. Golf for change. Your efforts and generosity today will set the foundation for the future of the youth in golf. Ghana, and indeed the whole world, will benefit from our contributions today. Thank you once again, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.